Welcome, everybody. My name is Rachel Garcia, and I'm going to be sharing some information with you tonight, along with some of my good friends, about how you can totally radically change and safeguard your health and the future of your health very simply within under a minute at home. It's something that I've been doing with my family for over 12 years now, but I want you to be able to hear from a number of other people how this system, this has changed their life, okay? And I know that stories, really that's what does it for me. If I'm looking to purchase something or go on a trip, I want to hear what everybody else says about it. And so I'm going to start out by bringing on my friend Jen Gerber, who lives in Montana. I actually got to hike through Yellowstone with her a couple of months ago, which was an amazing experience. And it's basically her backyard. And so I'm excited for you guys to hear her story tonight. Jen, I see you're on, so I'm going to go ahead and let you just take it away.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for allowing me to share my story. As she said, my name is Jen Gerber. I'm from Bozeman. I'm actually down in Florida right now visiting my parents, helping them move. So I'm kind of in your backyard, Rachel. I don't know if you guys watched last night or heard the stories, but I absolutely love.
Okay, Jen, I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if anybody else can hear you, but I can't. So if somebody could let me know if we're having a hard time hearing Jen, or is it just my own audio, which it might be, I don't know. So I'm just going to wait for a second and see if somebody can go into the chat. So, okay, you guys could all hear her? Great, then go for it and I'll figure out my speaker system. I'm sorry, Jen, go ahead.
Hey, that's okay, no problem. So as I said, I'm Jen Gerber. I've been from Bozeman, Montana. I've been married for 18 years. I've got a 3-year-old son. I've also been a registered nurse for 18 years. I was introduced to PURE back in 2019. Mary Catherine, who you guys may have seen last night, give her testimony. She introduced me. She was one of my coworkers. And back in 2019, I'd had a couple of diagnoses that I was not super excited about. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and hypothyroidism. I was put on prescription medications, and I also had a lot of chronic pain. I'm in healthcare, but I was not thrilled about being on any prescription medications. It was very frustrating for me because I've been a runner for 25 years and I've always done the right thing and eaten the right foods and made the right choices. And here I am faced with these health problems and put on prescription medications. So I was on the products for about 10 days and started to notice a huge decrease in my pain. And I thought, this is pretty exciting. This is awesome. Ton of energy, felt great. I shared with my mom and I called her up and I said, Mom, you got to do a 28-day detox. You got to try this. She'd was pretty sluggish, didn't have a lot of energy. She'd gained some weight and she was not my energetic mom, my young mom that I'd always had. So she did the 28-day detox and kind of got her life back. And over the next year, lost a bunch of weight. And now I'm taking backpacking and camping trips with my mom. And it's amazing. And it's stories like that and sharing PURE that just like fills my cup as a nurse. It's so fulfilling. A little bit later on my journey with PURE, about 6 months later, I had some repeat blood work and my cholesterol went from almost 300 to 150. I was able to wean off thyroid medications and off of diabetic medications. So I am off of all prescription medications. All my levels are normal and they are great. And that right there is pretty exciting for me. My husband, he's been on the products as well. He's a very fast, I can brag on him a little bit, marathon runner. Every time he runs a marathon, he qualifies for Boston pretty much. And he noticed huge improvements in his recovery time after his long training runs and after his marathon. So literally 2 days after running a marathon, he wasn't sore anymore. And as you know, most people can't walk normal for a week after a marathon. And he just feels better overall. And another great thing about PURE is that I've been able to earn trips. I've been able to pay for my products. That was my first goal. My big goal joining PURE was to get my products paid for every month. And I've gone well beyond that. And that's so exciting to just be able to know that you're changing lives and that you, as a nurse, that just like is so fulfilling to me. and every paycheck that I've ever gotten from Pure is so much more rewarding than a paycheck that I've gotten as a nurse. And I just thank you guys so much for letting me share my story today. And I was praying today that someone that heard my story might be inspired, and it just might speak to them today.
So great. Jen, thank you so much for jumping on and taking time out of your night and away from your little one there and your husband to share with us. Your story is amazing. And I will just tell you guys what she just said about her husband and his runs. So some of you may or may not know, my husband and I just went snowboarding for 4 days in Utah. And I said to him the third day, I'm not sore at all. This is very weird because I remember when we used to go snowboarding when we were in our 20s, I would not be able to walk the second and third days. My quadriceps would hurt, my calves would hurt. I wasn't sore at all. And any of you who know about snowboarding or skiing, you're using your legs pretty much for 5 to 6 hours a day flying down a mountain. There were some tumbles. And so for me to not be sore at all was kind of crazy. And it just speaks to what Jen was saying. And you know what? That's not for everybody, but for those of you that are athletes and that push your body to the limit, like you don't really notice it right away until you start thinking about how it used to be. And so that's such a tremendous story. Thank you, Jen, so much for coming on. And so I actually have not gotten to hear this story yet that you're about to hear. So I'm super excited about sharing it with you guys. Michael lives in Tallahassee, Florida. He is one of our newer consumers of Pure, and I'm excited for him to share with you guys a little bit about himself, what he does, and what's happened with him since he started on Pure. So go ahead, Michael.
Rachel, thank you so much for inviting me. This is actually this is an honor, y'all. I'm really fired up and excited. I'm Michael Croom. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, but I live in Tallahassee, Florida with my wife, Angela, and our 2 kids. They're 5 and 6, and we've got our hands full. We have ourselves a private physical therapy practice here in town, and we are busy, busy, busy. And we're the last ones to ever think about considering carrying Pure and or participating in anything like this. And let me tell y'all, we have a testimony, and we are 32 days into our journey. I completed a 28-day detox it was last week. So I took a 7-day break and I started again yesterday. But let me back up. So 5 years ago, my friend Eric Peacock said, brother, you got to check this Pure line out. And this is amazing. And I said, man, I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. And my friend Eric was persistent, and he was kind, and he shared the story. He shared what happened with him and his family. And I am just beyond blessed to hear and see that Eric and Julie Peacock are we're part of their just a crazy, amazing story. 2020 was something else, y'all. So with COVID and all the other exciting things that happened in this year, in our practice, we lost 75% of our business in one day, which is a tough pill to swallow. What are we going to do? And so we're called to be in physical therapy. So we kept moving forward. But then I sneezed. And when I sneezed, I blew out my L5S1 intervertebral disc. And it took 5 firefighters to pull me out of my clothes closet that morning because I was going to work. And that's very humbling. And the next day I had emergency back surgery at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital with Dr. Beatty. It changed everything. And I was concerned about my practice. I was concerned about my family. What are we going to do? So after we got through the surgery, of course, I had a big weight gain. I'm still having back pain. We're still practicing, okay? But we're still going about our business of doing what we're called to do. But I have had this tremendous amount of left heel pain. If it's anything likened to stepping on a nail, every single step for the last 8 months is exactly what this is. My disc re-herniated. That was confirmed by another MRI. My doctor said, look, we have to keep moving forward, but we're not doing surgery. And he says, you need to do everything you can. And I said, I think I am. So that's when I reached out. I talked to my brother Eric and said, look, man, I said, I need help. So my wife and I, we called Eric and Julie on the phone. Next thing I know, we're on the phone with Miss Rachel. We are getting involved with Pure. We signed up as IBOs that day. And then the detox began, and I have had a 30-pound weight reduction. And I can't begin to tell you how exciting this is. And I just, guess what? I don't have heel pain anymore. And it's just been incredible. So we're so very proud. We get to carry PURE products in our clinic now as well. So my wife and I are just very, very excited and so very, very thankful. And Rachel, thank you for all that you do.
Oh, you're so welcome. And that story is huge. And as I begin to hear people's stories, and like I just told you guys, I haven't heard Michael's story before. And I know there's a lot of people on here that are skeptical. And so clearly it wasn't the time for him a couple of years ago. And maybe this is the second or third or fourth time somebody's hearing something. But I remember getting on the phone with Michael and his wife, Angela, and they were getting kind of nervous about sharing it. And I don't know how to share. I'm like, I don't want you sharing it with anybody. I told them, I don't want you telling anybody about this. And I remember your wife, Michael, was like, oh, well, that's a relief. And then I get a text like maybe 3 weeks later, we're ready to share. How do we do it? And so I just want to encourage all of you listening. You can't go wrong, right? And I remember telling you, Michael, there's a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Just give it a try. Do everything Julie and Eric tell you to do. And I know Julie and Eric came over and showed you how to use the products and exactly what to do. And here we are. How many weeks now have you been using the products?
So we did the 28-day, and then I took a 7-day break, and I'm back on 28-day detox starting yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm actually fired up to go back to I'm on cleanse day number 2 right now. So
awesome. Well, I am so proud of you guys and so glad that you're a part of our team. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing tonight. And you guys, we're going to roll right into our next speaker, who is my friend Lita. And whenever I introduce Lita, I never know where to say that she lives because they literally have houses all up and down the East Coast. So she's usually in South Carolina or North Carolina or Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. And she'll tell you where she lives. But her story and the story of her boys and what they've been able to do with their athletic abilities and sports is really tremendous. So Lita, please go ahead and share with everybody.
Hi, thank you so much, Rachel. Got me? Okay, thank you so much for having me tonight. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share. Actually, my PURE journey started 8 years ago, and I first learned about PURE from Rachel Garcia when I was in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. And I'm so thankful to her for sharing it with me and the difference that it's made in my family as well as my life. Again, as Rachel said, my name is Lita Newman, and right now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. We do live a pretty active life and travel quite a bit. But when we first started with PURE, the first thing I noticed was Rachel shared with us, and I knew that my boys needed omega-3s. Children need omega-3s for brain development. I'm a homeschool mom, really into their health and what was the best thing for them, for their focus and their concentration. I knew how bad they needed these omega-3s, and fish oils are great, but they needed the plant-based omega-3s. So I jumped in with that. What I didn't expect was that it was going to also benefit me. And one of the biggest benefits I noticed in the beginning was my energy level was better. I was calmer. My energy level lasted throughout the day. As a stay-at-home mom and a husband who traveled 97% of the time, I was alone most of that time, and I couldn't have a nanny 24 hours a day. So by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I was exhausted. But as I added these products to my diet and to our diets as well, I started being calmer throughout the day, had more energy. The other thing that you probably have heard my story before, maybe not, is I also suffered from chronic migraine pain. What that meant to me and my family was I had migraine pain, excruciating pain, more days of the month than I did it. As I added the PURE products to our diet and to our daily regimen, the migraine pain started subsiding and going away. That was amazing to me because I had been taking all types of medications which had side effects, made me want to sleep. You couldn't do that when you're raising 2 active little boys. That continued to get better and better. I now have more days of the month with no migraine pain than I have with it. And if I do get migraine pain, there's a little cocktail of PURE products that I take, and it goes away within 15 minutes. That never happened before. I'm a very active person. I'm a runner. I run about 3 to 5 days, 5 to 6 days a week. My boys are very active. They're competitive golfers. So we've benefited not only from the Core Plus, which we take every single day, along with the superfruits every single day, but we also use the sports line, all of us. And it's just been a great benefit to them with their athletic ability, working out, out, lifting weights, as well as their competitive focus and concentration when they're out there competing. I also love the Pure Nerium, the skincare line, trying to get my body more clean and pure. I wanted to put something clean on my skin because I know our skin is our largest organ. So I use the Pure Nerium every day and I love it. Another little added benefit that happened for us recently was we also own a brick and mortar business. So I've been involved in this business now for almost 5 years. When the economy shut down last March, because it was a year ago, almost a year ago that it shut down for 4 months. Okay, we had no income coming in. That didn't mean that my expenses stopped. I still had royalty fees. I still had daily expenses at the center. I also had to pay the landlord rent. So all these expenses kept coming in, but I wasn't bringing in any money because the government said I had to shut my business down. Thank goodness I had Pure. That's what actually kept my business afloat during those 4 months. That extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month was amazing. It may not seem like a lot to others, but to somebody who's trying to run a business and keep it afloat, that's what kept us going. So I'm just so thankful for Pure, all things Pure, the products, the business, and I'm thankful to Rachel for sharing with us. Thank you guys for letting me share my story. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Lita, thank you so much for sharing. And I remember the person who told Lita, I clearly remember them saying, there's this woman who lives in my neighborhood who's really into health and nutrition. She homeschools her 2 boys. I don't really think she'd be interested, but maybe she will be. And I always say, you don't know. You never know who's going to be interested or not. So just share it with everybody. And here we are years later, right? Lita and I have traveled to many locations together. We've been building this business together and sharing it with others. And I just absolutely love hearing her story and her boys. I'm going to brag on her child. One of her boys has received a full ride. Actually, I think both of them received full ride golf scholarships to college. The oldest one is at William and Mary on that full ride. And both of these boys, if you ever hear them talk, will say they attribute a large amount of the focus that they are able to have during the golf tournaments and games that they play to their Pure products. I have received many a frantic text from Lita and her boys on a weekend saying, okay, we're out of Energizer, we're out of Hydrate, we need more. And so I can't say enough how fabulous these products are for those who need focus, for those who are in the athletic arena as well. And so next, I'm going to bring up my friend Liz, and she has been a longtime friend of mine. We actually got used to work together, and she has a tremendous product testimony for she and her husband. So I'm excited for you guys to hear from her tonight. So Liz, I see you are there. Go ahead and take it away.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having us tonight. So I guess my story kind of feels like a combination of everything we've kind of just heard. I actually worked with Rachel. I don't want to say how long ago it was, Rachel, because I didn't have kids and I don't know if you had them either. So it's been a while, and it was maybe 7 years ago when Rachel first reached out, and we were really not in a position where, we wanted to do this. I thought about it really hard. We tried the product, we love the products. And one of the first things I noticed was I had a very, very bad back. I guess it's still bad, let me clarify, where I had fallen down a flight of stairs in my teens and nothing had ever helped it. I remained super healthy just to try and make sure that pain never came back. So when we tried the sulfur for the first time, I distinctly remember washing my face for the first time where I'm not like propping up my arms to try and hold literally just my torso weight. And that was a big deal to me. And, we loved the energy, and I got off of caffeine completely. And then I think life just happened and we just kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. It wasn't that we didn't like it, but as we've already heard, it just kind of wasn't our time, even though we knew we liked it. So flash forward to now, I reached out to Rachel, kind of a complete train wreck, if I'm honest. I thought about making a video of that, but I didn't want to look at it. And basically about 3.5 years ago, I woke up one Sunday and I had a really bad migraine. And by the next day, I told my husband, I'm not going to go to work today. My head feels pretty bad. And by that night, I'm asking him to take me to the emergency room because I couldn't open my eyes. And it turns out that I had meningitis. What made it worse was that even though it was viral meningitis, and that's what the good one to have if you get meningitis, the problem is that they had to send all of the results off, and what they didn't know until many days later, when I should have recovered, is that my meningitis was caused by the herpes zoster virus that causes chickenpox. So there was no way for this virus to ever leave my system like it should have. And so a short round of a 7 to 10 day experience ended up being about 5 weeks. And I can honestly say that I truly haven't really recovered since then. It threw my entire body out of whack. I now have a thyroid issue. My migraines are alive and kicking. And my iron is lower than it's ever been. It also sent me into a chemical depression to where I have symptoms of depression, even though I don't feel sad. And I have tried everything for 3 years, and I finally decided that, you know what, the medicine is not working. It should be, right? Because that's what we're taught to believe. And I do believe that medicine has a place in our lives, but for my conditions, it was not working. And we started, maybe a month or two ago now, and finally I'm starting to get relief. I am still on my thyroid medication, but I am no longer having to take an antidepressant. I'm sleeping at night. I finally feel the focus again, and I can work out again. So that was the biggest thing for me. Is one of my stress relievers was I row, and I row a lot. I was not able to do it anymore. And normally I would row for about an hour, about 3-4 times a week. And it was maybe 3 to 4 miles, so not a very heavy row. Since we started back in, my husband is on the call too, so he'll tell you his side of things, but we're starting to get more into the business side of it. And since we really went in with the family pack, I was able to get products that I would not have normally purchased. And as much as I love everything that I tried before, like the sulfur, the sports line has really got me motivated. I am able to work out like I have never worked out in my life. Yesterday, I rode 9 miles and did about an hour's worth of floor routine, and I am not sore today. I am toned, I am happy, I am so excited to work out, and like I cannot wait for my son's next cross country meet because I know how much he's going to enjoy these products, just how I have. And I can really say that it's even if you haven't tried some of this stuff, just give it a try. I think you'll be really surprised at some of the results. I know we have been, and we've been very, very happy with it. So thank you so much, you guys, for having us tonight. I think my husband's probably going to talk a little more than me, so get ready.
So I don't know if I was supposed to pull him up on a separate screen, which I just did, or is he going to come sit in front of the kids' artwork like you are? You tell me what to do, Liz.
I know, right? Like this is how I keep it organized.
So I think I'm gonna try to pull him up where he is because he's not gonna come sit where you are, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Liz. You are awesome. I did not know all of that, and I'm pulling back tears as I'm listening to you. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love this.
I told you I was a train wreck. Yeah, I meant it.
So great. All right, you guys are now gonna get to hear from Liz's awesome husband, Brandon. So Brandon, are you there? You are muted. Let's see if I can get you unmuted.
I got it.
There you go.
Does that work?
Okay, Brandon.
Hey, Rachel.
Go ahead, take it away.
Okay, well, thank you guys again so much for for the opportunity, Rachel. I am separate because I was just tested positive for COVID. So that's why you see me in a different room and whatnot. Liz hit on a lot of great points, and I can speak for, I'm sure, a lot of people on the call. Liz and I, like she mentioned, about 5 or 6 years ago, first was introduced to Pure. And I can tell you, I was not a believer. I was not. I thought this Rachel Garcia chick was batshit crazy. And I was like, man, I don't believe in it. I'm not that guy. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't until recently, you mentioned busy lives. And we tried the products out, but we had some change in our lives recently. And we decided, I was like, you know what, I am going to give it a shot. I'm going to be dedicated and see what this does for me. And I'll tell you what, I work night shift for a pharmaceutical company. And typically the rule of thumb is everybody gains about 25, 30 pounds on night shift. I have lost weight on night shift I think I'm about 4 weeks in, 3.5, 4 weeks. And I can tell you the pictures I had to take before the challenge. I mean, I look at them now and I am a completely different person as far as body type from now. I've lost about 4.5 inches around my stomach. I've lost about 3.5 across my chest. And again, Liz is a little bit more dedicated on the rowing piece, but I've started a program as well. But I can contribute a lot of the results and recent success to basically the products. When I showed up in a meeting a week ago, and a lot of people in leadership, they're like, man, what are you doing? What do you eat? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm following. So I introduced it very lightly there, but it's been a pure product result that I've seen. So I'm a believer now, Rachel. I wasn't 5 years ago, I can tell you that. But again, I know Chris mentioned busy lives, and we were there. I mean, we have kids and we're very involved. And I just didn't see how this component fit into our lives. But I can tell you, I'm still going with it, but I've already seen instant results. Energy levels, like people mentioned, again, those inches off of my stomach based on just the product. And I did mention this to Rachel, and I'm pretty open book, as most people know, but I had vitiligo well. And I can tell you that there's been the juice diet is completely eliminated vitiligo on my hands, completely. So it has been a huge, between the weight loss, energy and attitude, and what it's helped with the vitiligo has been quite the experience. And again, not going through it, I would have never believed it. So I'm here to tell you that's our personal experience.
Awesome. Brandon, thank you so much for jumping on and sharing. And I gave Brandon the whole regimen today to take for his positive COVID test. He was drinking his noni and he said, yep, I definitely have COVID. I cannot taste or smell the noni. So I said, drink the whole bottle, friend. So he's got the regimen, and we're going to hear in a couple of days that he's just fine, I am sure. Thank you so much, Liz and Brandon, for jumping on. And so you guys, our last couple to share is going to be our friends Barbara and Anthony Franklin. Many of you know and love them. I'm actually gonna, they also have earned trips with the company. We're gonna be in Amelia Island together in about 2 months. And I'm just excited for you guys to hear their amazing story. As a result of their story, they have changed hundreds of lives already. And quite frankly, that's what it's all about. So Anthony and Barbara, welcome. We're so glad you guys are here.
Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. It's so good to be here with you tonight and be able to share our story. We are just so excited about what Pure has done in our lives. My journey with Pure began in around April of last year, right at the beginning of the pandemic. We were dealing with, we are pastors, and so our job is, caring for people. So right at the beginning of the pandemic, we were thrust right in the front lines of everything that was going on. Just like nurses and doctors, we care for people. So we were dealing with people who were calling almost on a daily basis, who were dealing with all kinds of challenges from COVID, family members dying, people in the congregation in the hospital. My aunt died during that time. Many people in the church were losing loved ones, as well as people in the church were experiencing death. We lost some very dear members, leaders, and things like that. And so all this is happening all at once while the church is being shut down. And, the nature of my personality is I tend to feel what people are going through and identify with their pain and their suffering. And I was very stressed. I got a call right during that time from Dr. Wumi Asanubi, who told me, first of all, she said, hey, Pastor, I'm just calling to see how you're doing. checking on your well-being. And I said, well, this is what's going on. And I began to share what was happening. She said, well, you know, I need to get you well. I need to introduce you to something that's going to really help you. She introduced me to PURE. And within 1 week's time, I was having all this trouble with sleeping and stress and anxiety. Within 1 week's time of taking the products, the PURE Core Plus, I started sleeping like a baby. My stress levels had dissipated. I was just feeling calm and peaceful. She called and checked on me and she said, how are you doing? I said, I am doing great. I couldn't believe how well I was doing. All those issues seemed to go away just like that, and I couldn't believe it. So these things began to just unfold really rapidly. I said to my wife, I said, I got to continue taking these products. She said, well, you know, these products are expensive. So we signed up as IBOs and began sharing them with everybody, all of our friends. She told them we began touching the lives of so many people. My daughter's on the products, and my son-in-law's on the products, all my family members on the products. And as we began to continue to share, the things just began to just really take off. We now we've earned luggage, we've earned a free trip to Amelia Island, we've earned a trip to Italy, and it has just been amazing what PURE has done in our lives. I'm so thankful for this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful company. It has changed our lives tremendously.
Yes. And I just want to share my testimony. I don't think I've really shared it like I'm going to share it tonight, but I was diagnosed with interstitial cystitis 10 years ago, and that's a chronic bladder condition. It's in the autoimmune family. And so I was hesitant about trying PURE just because I was afraid it would aggravate my bladder, not realizing that it has the potential to really, you know, take care of it and heal it. Well, it healed mine anyway, my bladder. So anyway, I started taking the products, the Core Plus, and it took a few months. I am completely pain-free. This is huge. And so I was on a heavy duty medication, like bad stuff, like gabapentin and all this other stuff that causes a lot of damage. This for me is a miracle. So I just want to say, and then we're just like major like advocates of PURE. We take everything. We ordered the big pack twice. I drink the hydrate, the energy for focus. I do virtual teaching for early intervention with families and children. I stay focused because I have all my cases, a whole lot of them. And it's been transformational. The products have been transformational. So we feel very blessed. And I feel like for us, God has done exceedingly abundantly above and beyond what we could ask or think. And the team, the people that we have met are phenomenal. Rachel Garcia, Melissa Urban, Dr. Wumi Asunubi, everyone from PURE character. They have so much character and integrity. We love you all, and we're just grateful.
Well, she mentioned her health issues had been resolved. I forgot to mention, I had been on this medication for a urinary condition that I was having. I had 2 surgeries to try to solve this problem, and the surgeries didn't help. The medication that I was on, and I was told I was gonna have to be on it for the rest of my life. So as I'm taking the products, I was taking them before her, I was on it for a few weeks, and I said, well, you know what? They say that if you give your body what it needs, it will heal itself. So I just kept it between me and the Lord, and I said, okay, I'm gonna give this a try and see what happens. I stopped taking my medication. And then with about 4 weeks later, she said, well, how are you doing with your medication? I said, well, I haven't been taking it. And I have not taken that prescription medication ever since. And everything is fine. My whole urinary system is working as God intended. And it has been the best thing that has ever happened to us. I have been on these products every day ever since, telling everyone I can about PURE. And I want you to know it is true. It is people united, reaching everyone, and everyone needs to be on this product.
Well, you guys are amazing and you're glowing, and I'm so happy to hear both of your testimonies. Barbara, that is the first time I've heard your testimony, and I'm just so thankful that you guys were brought to us and that you are sharing, because we needed your voices, and you're going to change a lot of lives. And we're going to Italy together, right? So
Yes. And we mentioned that. Yeah, we're doing everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time out and share tonight. And so for those of you that are listening and maybe you're like, what is this all about? I don't understand. I'm going to briefly give you a little bit of overview on what PURE is, and hopefully help you to understand the power of what we have. You heard over and over again tonight from our people who were sharing testimonies that they were able to throw prescriptions in the trash. I am a healthcare provider. For 20 years, I practiced medicine. I wrote prescriptions as a PA. I cut cancers out of my patients. I saw on average 50 to 70 patients a day when I was in the clinic and not in the operating room. And to be able to help people throw their prescriptions in the trash rather than giving out 200 prescriptions a day, I am so very, very proud of that. And every time I hear it, I get excited because people need to understand that it's not normal for a 50-year-old to be on 4 to 5 prescription medications. Yet that's the norm in America. And so we have a lot of work to do, friends. We have a lot of information to get out, and you know people that I don't know. And so my hope is that if this is for you tonight, you will get your questions answered. Maybe you are like Brandon and Liz, who heard this 7 years ago, and it wasn't for them at the time, above and beyond just using products. But maybe you're listening to it right now and you know it is for you. You've heard a lot about transformation tonight. I will just tell you, I got started with this, and as a PA, I saw 50 patients a day. At least one would try to recommend a product or a shake or a something. What caught my attention about this was that the products and the system were used in a clinical practice for 30 years with patients. That's a long time, you guys. And I said, okay, if these products have been used and researched for 30 years, give it to me. Give me everything they've got. I really started getting into nutrition. My nephew had been diagnosed with severe autism. Fast forward 3 months, you guys will see a radical change that happened to me. The picture on the left, people go, oh, that's baby weight. No, Camden's 9 months old on my hip there. That was not baby weight. I could not get the weight off. I thought I was just going to be that size for the rest of my life. I kind of had said, forget it. I can't lose weight. I was not going to the gym and dropped about 33 pounds in 3 months. And I will tell you, the majority of the weight came off the 2nd and 3rd month. Did you hear what Liz said earlier tonight? It wasn't until about the 2nd or 3rd month that she began to see the difference. We've been destroying our bodies for decades. Give it a couple of months. Do not freak out if you don't see a radical change within a couple of days or a couple of weeks. This is my husband. He struggled with severe depression. I personally struggled with allergy issues, constipation issues. My 3-year-old struggled with severe constipation. Fast forward 3 months in on the products, radical changes. My husband and I are in this picture here. We are in our 40s. In the pictures before, we were in our early 30s. And so we literally are aging backwards. That little boy on the left is the little boy that was on my hip in that earlier picture. And so I started with the products for my own self, as many of the people here tonight did, right? Desperately looking for something that can help. And then once we saw the radical change that happened in us, I, as a healthcare provider, felt an ethical obligation to share with others. So why does this work? What is so special about this? Well, I will tell you that in all my years now, 12 years of sharing this with others, I have learned that we, as a population, are toxic, out of balance, and undernourished. And I believe that is the reason why most of us are on prescription medications. We are toxic, out of balance, and undernourished. Now, this is not things that I was taught in medical school. I have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences, which means I really just like to do a lot of research. And so once Pandora's box was open for me with my nephew's diagnosis of autism, and I wanted to know why he had it and why was his prognosis so bad, what was his future going to look like, I began to learn the extreme importance of getting rid of the toxins that we're all consuming every day, whether we like it or not. The pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides that are being used on the fields and the farms now, it's killing us, guys. We're being poisoned. There's pollution in the air, the plastic water bottles, the saran wrap we put on top of our food and stuck in a microwave. All of that plastic has been leaching into us for decades now. And that is why cancer is expected to overtake heart disease as the #1 killer in the next 2 years. Are we out of balance? I think everyone on here would say, yeah, I definitely have more stress than I would like to have. I'm probably consuming more sugar than I should. I am on my phone or technology too much. I'm sitting too much. Did you know that sitting is the new smoking? Sitting, being sedentary, not moving, does not allow your cells and the waste from your cells to move through your lymph system and get flushed out of your body. No, most of us are sitting the majority of our days and we're not getting enough sleep. Anytime I speak in a live audience, I ask how many of you are getting more than 8 hours of sleep at night? It's usually 2 to 3 hands that go up. This is a problem. Studies have shown if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep at night, your body is not allowed, is not able to heal itself and recuperate and rejuvenate the way that it was made to. Are we undernourished? I think this is an understatement. Every once in a while, I have somebody say, I have an organic garden. I grow all my own food. Good for you. So did my mom. She has an organic farm. She only eats what she grows. 2 weeks in on the program, my mom is in her 70s. She calls me crying and says, I've never felt this good in my entire life. What is this stuff and where did you get it? Even if you eat all organic, the soils now are growing vegetables and food that are severely depleted in nutrition. The agricultural studies are showing this. We are not eating the same foods that our grandparents ate. And we don't have the time to go and get the food that we need to. So Pure has done it all for us. You guys, the answer, what was used in that clinical practice was this system of cleansing your body of the toxins, balancing out your pH, your hormone levels, your sleep, your exercise, your stress, and building your cells up with plant-based nutrition. That is what worked for those 3 decades with patients. And they decided to start a company as a result of the tremendous desire for people to get into that clinic and get on this system. So rather than a physician having to see patients all day long, they decided to start a company where by word of mouth, we could get the news out about this amazing system that works so well. There's a number of products that this company offers. As you heard everybody sharing tonight, in fact, when I heard about Brandon's diagnosis of COVID, I immediately texted him exactly what to take. It included these 7 products that are called the Core Plus products, as well as a number of our immune boosting products. I'm not going to go through each of these products right now. I'm going to tell you that as a healthcare provider who's been sharing this information for 12 years, I believe that if you get on these 7 products, and it takes about 30 seconds in the morning and 30 seconds at night, my children do it every morning. In fact, my husband and I were in Utah last week, and when I got back, my youngest son, my 13-year-old said, Mom, Matthew poured my juices for me every morning. That's how easy this is, that my 16-year-old is pouring the juices for him and his younger brother while my husband and I were gone for 4 days last week. Now, why would they do that? Because they know when they take it and they know when they don't. They can tell the 6 typical things that happen within the first 28 days of using these products every single day. Whole raw food, plant-based nutrition, that's all that this is. Things we should be consuming, but we're not. Our weight loss without trying, and I believe that's because you're finally getting fed, your cells are getting fed, and you're no longer starving for stuff that's not even real food. 2, better mood. Although you don't typically notice that, everyone around you does. Better sleep, more energy throughout the day, less pain, and better bowel habits. There's no more magazines in the bathroom. Now, I have some videos that I'm going to show you where they are that you can dive into to get lots of information on what's in each of these products. Why do those 6 things typically happen? But I'll tell you, I'm here for what happens on months 2 and 3. I'm here for the lab results. I'm here for the colonoscopy results. I'm here, you heard the cholesterol numbers dropping. Jen is like an ultra marathon runner. She runs all the time. This is like one of the most athletic people that you will ever meet. And she had high cholesterol and high triglycerides, and she saw her numbers drop. That's why I'm here. I don't know if that's going to happen for you. They have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. We're not going to say that any of this is going to heal you or cure you. I just know that the majority of the issues we face as a human race are the result of being toxic, out of balance, and lacking in nutrition. And some people are trying to fill in the lacking in nutrition category on their own. And you're taking this product from this company and this product from that company and that product from this company, and you're not feeling a difference. Well, you got to cleanse and you got to balance out your pH and get alkaline, and you got to build your cells up with good nutrition. This is a proven system that works. Did you hear the men on here tonight? Shane, I was very skeptical, and now I'm here because my life has been changed and I'm willing to share with others. Who do you know that may be interested in talking about this if their life totally changed in a 28-day period of time? You guys, all we're doing is giving you nutrition from the inside. We're not giving you prescriptions and Band-Aids. You know, people aren't on antidepressants because of a lack of Prozac in their system. They're on antidepressants because they're not getting the nutrition that they need for their synapses and their brain to work the way that it's supposed to work. That is what Pure is all about. So what is PURE? You guys, all of us are buying online right now. Don't even try to say that you're not, because we are. We're all purchasing movies, we're purchasing food, we're purchasing lots of stuff online. More so in the Northeast and the Northwest, maybe so than in the Southeastern portion of the country. But what PURE is the best high quality nutrition you can find in one location online. You click a link just as if you're ordering from Amazon, and it's like Amazon and Costco combined. A discounted price sent directly to your house with third-party testing. Our products are listed in the physician's desk reference, and our facilities where the products are packaged are FDA registered facilities. The ingredients of the product, the food, actually comes from all over the world. Okay, so that's important to note. Things like our noni is grown in the Polynesian islands. Things like our mila is grown in 8 different farms near the equator and at high elevations because it has high amounts of omega-3s, only at high elevations. Again, I have videos walking you through all of this. So really, it's an online website that whoever invited you tonight can give you a link, and you can just go place your order. It's the best of the best with one click of a button. And quite frankly, that's why I got started. I was sick of going to the health food store with my articles and my science on the best calcium and the best omegas and the best vitamin. And I'd go and I'd look and I'd turn the labels over, and I was doing all of this in addition to working full time, in addition to raising 2 babies, in addition to running the 2 businesses my husband and I had started. For me, this was an answer to a problem. 30 years in a clinical practice, one click of a button, it's going to come straight to my house. I don't have to do the research anymore. Give it to me. What's the worst that can happen? They have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Give it to me. Give me all of it. Let's take it. And our lives were radically changed as a result. I came into this kicking and screaming. I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody about it. And then I felt ethically obligated to share this with others. I went to school to help people. Just like Pastors Anthony and Barbara, they are in this to help people. That's what we're on this earth to do. So if you want more information on the individual products, go to purelifechangers.com. Check out the product page, check out the testimony page, but you can get started right now. Go to livepure.com and choose your package. Core Plus is my favorite starting package for people. If you're over 40, get the Core Plus and throw the super fruits on. Okay, those are the 2 like essential. Your body is lacking in all this nutrition. That is where I recommend people start at the very, very bare basic. We have a detox program. You heard some of the guys talking about that tonight. If you're looking for a regimented meal plan, along with our Core Plus products and superfruits to help you shed weight and totally detox over the next 28 days, take a look at the detox. Or you can mix and match whatever you want. You heard me talking about the products that I told Brandon he should make sure he's using. He came in with our large family package, which is a variety of all of our best-selling products. So I knew he had the immune boosters in there. I said, make sure you double up on that, double up on the superfruits as you're battling this positive diagnosis of COVID. And so I just want to throw this in. Very, very few people who look at this jump in saying, I want to do the business. Very few. And we understand that. It's almost like they kind of want to tell me, well, I'm not going to do the business unless I have a result first. I totally get that. I've been doing this 12 years. I was that way as well. Sometimes though, we have people who look at this and they say, you know what, my friend Kristen shared this with me, and Kristen made $4,000 last week and she's only been in a month. I'm interested in looking at the business side. I would sell dog food if I could make $4,000 in my first month in this business. Okay, so we have people who come on board looking for an additional way to create money, because in this day and age, people don't know if they're going to have a job next week or next month. They've built up credit card debt from the past year of what's gone on in our country, and they're looking for another way to create additional income. You can literally invite people to take a look at things. Okay, how many people have been invited to take a look at this tonight? We'll look at the recording afterwards, and they'll have questions. You don't have to answer the questions. We have a whole system in place. You invite them to take a look, put them on the phone, put them on a text, put them on a group chat with us on Facebook. We will answer their questions for you. But what happens is the company's going to say, thank you so much, Brandon and Liz, for inviting somebody to take a look. Anybody that purchases a result of who they've invited, they get paid on. We refer people to things all the time, don't you? How many of you are posting out there, what Netflix show should I watch tonight? If you ever seen that on Facebook or on a social media platform, then there's like 200 posts of what Netflix show they should watch. Are any of you getting paid for those referrals and recommendations? No. Well, here we can refer people to something that's truly life-changing, unlike a Netflix show. And actually the company's way of saying thank you is to pay you. And if they tell someone, and if they tell someone, and if they tell someone, every time someone purchases, you have the opportunity to get paid. That's how this works. You guys, my husband and I in 1 week now make more than the 2 of us combined used to make in a month. We both graduated from the University of Florida. He has 2 degrees from the University of Florida. I also have a master's degree and was licensed to practice medicine for 20 years. So when I tell you we make more in a week than the 2 of us used to make in a month, I'm going to tell you we were overeducated people. I'm also going to tell you anybody can do this. You don't have to be educating. You don't have to be speaking. Heck, you don't even have to share your testimony like these guys did tonight. They wanted to share their testimonies. All you do is invite people to take a look, plug into the system. We teach you how to leverage your time. We teach you how to make money while you're doing your full-time job, while you're homeschooling your kids, how to leverage your time so that you can be creating income while you sleep. We have numerous financial testimonies. And right now we're focusing on the products, but I want you to know, if you're thinking in any way, maybe I should get interested in that, take a look at our testimonies. Kristen and Skip's lives were changed as a result of jumping on board for the business. Josh and Ashley, they were in over $30,000 worth of debt. They had a hole in their roof that they could not pay to fix. They got started with Pure, were able to hand a $10,000 check for the roof getting fixed a week before a hurricane hit Bainbridge, Georgia. He paid off the $30,000 in debt and now has multiple real estate properties that he was able to invest in because of this residual income stream. I don't know what's going to happen with you. I don't know if you can follow a system. I don't know if you're coachable. I don't know if you know anybody that'll listen to you. You might not be able to do anything with this. But if you've been looking for something to help get you out of the hole, take a serious look at this. Sometimes people go, oh, is this a pyramid scheme? I'm just going to say it because I heard it today. I heard it yesterday. Is this a pyramid scheme? I'm like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean that illegal thing that Bernie Madoff is in prison for? Is that what you mean? Because those are illegal. This has been around for 12 years. Phil Knight is one of our investors. You know who Phil Knight is, right? The founder of the largest shoe company in the world. Why would he be involved in something illegal? They're like, yeah, you know, we're the person at the top makes all the money. Oh, you mean like your job? Where there's a president and a CEO and a manager? And you're just an employee and you can't make as much as the CEO because there's only one CEO. You mean like that? No, it's nothing like that. In fact, what we've done is we've turned it upside down to where anybody can make more money than the CEO in this company. Totally depends on your work ethic. Totally depends on who you know and who you tell. But you have the ability to make whatever you want to make here in as much or as little time on the side as you want. So no, it's nothing like a pyramid scheme. It's nothing like a pyramid. In fact, you couldn't pay me to go back and work in corporate America where I trade my hours for dollars to make someone else money. You couldn't pay me to go back and do that again. I found a better way. And I'm going to do everything I can to share with the world the power of leveraging your time, sharing something that's real and good. Are there things out there that aren't real and good? Yes, there are. You should definitely get your questions answered. You should definitely ask questions. But how can you hear these people's stories tonight and not think it's real? You understand there's a 30-day satisfaction guarantee? You guys, you can't go wrong. Story after story after story. Lauren Deal's precious little 5-year-old twins actually have an educational training video out there on why you should be consuming Daily Build and Go Yin. If we have the littles teaching and educating because they see the changes in their parents and they feel the changes in themselves when they take it, why would you not look at this and give it a shot? I've traveled the world with Will and Susan. They live up in Montana. I had never been to Montana in my life. I've now been to Montana over 5 times because I shared this with somebody who shared this with somebody who shared this with somebody who lives in Montana. I've stayed in their home. I've traveled to Bora Bora with them. Literally, you become like the people that you surround yourself with. Did you see Barbara and Anthony? Don't you want to be with them? Aren't they glowing, beautiful couple? Like, I feel so blessed to be able to do life with those 2 people. They do marriage seminars and teach people how to have stronger marriages and better lives. And I get to be in business and do life with them. This is such an amazing gift. Who are you surrounding yourself with? People who complain and whine and are negative and sit around and watch Netflix and drink beer, or people who are trying to be better tomorrow than they are today? People who are trying to have the best year of their life, or people who are like, it's just another year like last year? No, it doesn't have to be that way. And we're here to pour into you and to let you know you can do whatever you want to do. So you guys get started today. Go to livepure.com, choose your package. If you just want to be a customer, again, look at the Core Plus package, look at the Superfruits, look at the Detox package. If you're interested in partnering with us to build a business, you guys, you can make money while you sleep. And there is no cap. Wherever you are right now, there's probably a cap to how much you can make. There's no cap to what you can make here. Start small. Start with 30 minutes a day. Start with a little bit of time. We plug you into a system. All the training is online. We partner with you to help you achieve what you want to achieve. Your investment in this business, the most you can spend is about $2,500, and you eat it I've never invested in a business where I actually get to eat my investment. You eat it. And then you plug in to our system and you begin sharing. You don't have to speak if you don't want to. So if you don't change, I'm going to end with this, nothing changes. So friends, if you're looking to change, if you're looking to be a different person 6 months from now, if you're looking to be a better mom, a better dad, a better wife, a better husband, a better parent, if you're looking to have more time to build relationships with your friends, change something. And we're handing this to you. It may not be for you, but if, my friends, if this isn't for you, I really hope for you that you find something that can get you where it is that you're supposed to be in life, to get you to the next level, to achieve all that you hoped you were going to be achieving when you were in your early 20s. Don't give up. There's still time. Maybe everything you've been through in your life has led to this moment and whether or not you're going to make this choice. And again, you have nothing to lose. 30-day satisfaction guarantee. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to see if, how come I can't see? There we go. I'm going to see if anybody has any questions as I stop the recording.